Hi everyone, I hope you're all well out there and staying safe. This week I'm going to use that Murrine that I made last week. If you remember, it uses spring green and black and white, and we're going to make a square bowl with it. Welcome to Rocket Rose Art. My name is Jeff. Last week I made some spring green, black and white Murrine using a stainless steel mould that I created, if that's a generous word, but that I created out of a piece of thin stainless steel. And this week we're going to use that Murrine and we're going to create a square bowl. Now it's a shape that I particularly like. Whether or not my design will work in it, because while it's a square bowl, the design is sort of square, if you know what I mean. It's not a balanced square, but we'll give it a go. We'll see how it works out. And don't forget, if you've got questions that I haven't answered for you during the video, please ask me in the comments and I will answer them. And if you like the video, hit the like button at the end and subscribe if you'd like to see more. So we'll get into the very first part as usual, and that is the design, the materials and equipment. Before we continue with this, just a reminder, all the glass that I use is Bullseye 90 COE. In the mould I'll be spraying that with boron nitride and I'll be fusing on thin fire paper. Stay safe, remember to wear your safety glasses when you're cutting the glass and when you're cleaning up things like even your thin fire or the boron nitride, make sure you wear a mask. Now the design today is going to have to fit this bowl. Now I could just make a strip that just fit across there, or any size really, but I am going to try and keep it square. The design is basically deep grey with that Murrine snaking across it like that. That'll be on clear on the back, and there'll be a grey strip on either side. Now with when I said a grey strip, I mean a black strip either side. That with that black strip there, it will probably curve a little bit. The Murrine may push out and push it out a bit, but then in the mould, when it's slumped in the mould, it will more than likely curve slightly down like that. That's fine. Hopefully that'll expand and it'll curve from the mould and end up straight. Who knows? Now the colour is 0336, which is deep grey, and then we're going to have just clear on the back, as I said, and plain black strips. The Murrine, if you didn't see the video last week, is made from spring green, black and opaque white. As far as equipment is concerned, I will be cutting this on my ring saw. You could score and snap it and sort of nibble it off, but I've got a ring saw, so I'll be cutting it on the ring saw. And we probably will have to do a little bit of coal working, so may be using my grinder and maybe my sandblaster. So the first thing I'm going to do is start cutting my glass. this is how I'm going to set it up. This piece of grey here is going to be cut through and then shaped to fit this, or the Murrine here. I'll push them apart, which will make up this gap up the top. So I'll push them apart. So I need a little bit more Murrine to fill that. And that curve will be cut over on the ring saw. So first thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to mark roughly the shape here, and then I'll score it through, break it, and then I'll take it over the ring saw and cut out that final shape. Okay, I've cut the grey. I've just got to position that, and I've drawn some lines here to position that on the sides. Then I'll mark that in there, and then I'll cut the clear to match. Okay, cut everything, laid it all up on my kiln shelf here, thin fire on the bottom. I've decided to dam it, so I've got little bits of thin fire on there. Clear on the bottom, obviously, grey in the middle, black on the sides. So now I've just got to lay up all the Murrine in the middle, and then we'll get it in the kiln. Okay, that's all done. Something I neglected to tell you before was I'm going to fill in between all of these, or already have filled in between all of these, with just some plain black powder. So that's all done. Now I'll get this in the kiln, we'll put it on a full fuse, and we'll see how it comes out in the morning. Well, that's it. It's all fused up, but I'm going to change my mind about something. If you have a look, we get up close there, I'm sure you can see it, the bubbles in there. That looks really interesting. Now, I was going to have the back side of this as the feature side, which, without banging it, there you go, is not as interesting as that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that my feature side. Change my mind. It's got I don't know, it's just got a lot of depth in there with those bubbles and that. So what I need to do though is I need to clean some areas up, get rid of these little bumps, a little bit of coal working, sandblast it to get rid of all of this. And there's a very small amount of black frit on that, which you can probably see sort of little bits in there. So if I sandblast that, I should get rid of all of that. Do a fire polish on it before I do a slump. So there you go, I've finished all the coal working. So what I did is I took off the bumps on the edge, and then I sandblasted the whole thing. Sandblasting cleaned up all of the Murrine in here. When you put the frit in between everything, it can get underneath the little pieces of Murrine. And if you're not careful when you clean it off, you can leave some on the top. It sort of makes it look dirty. So sandblasting takes all of that off and brings it back to the nice clean Murrine. So everything's fine. There's a couple of little holes. There's one there, but that's all just part of this glass. So what I'm going to do now is get that in the kiln. We'll do a fire polish on it. Good morning wherever you are. It's probably not morning for you, but it is for me. The fire polish has all gone well, and you can see it's got a nice polish on it. You can see the bubbles we've got there. Everything's nice and clean. We've even got a little bit of variation in the colour and the background of this, which is good. I like that. So now I'll just get it in the mould and we'll do the final slump. Well, I'm really happy about that piece. I think it's turned out beautifully. Very happy with that. In fact, I'm going to make some more Murrine with that mould I made. And I just did a test recently on that. And there are definitely more pieces in the works using Murrine. This is just what I particularly like about it, I suppose, is the fact that with the clear on the top and the solid Murrine running through, it creates a lot of depth. There's all those bubbles in there. There's some swirls in the deep grey glass underneath, and there's like a shadowing effect if you get the light in the right direction. So you might get a feeling, I like this piece. I do. I'm very happy with that piece. Worked out really nice. So will definitely be more in the future. Now, before I go any further, I do have a little bit of news. You've probably seen a video already of me announcing memberships. So we do have memberships on the channel now. There's the announcement video that everybody would have probably seen. And when you hit that join button, there's another little video there that explains it in a bit more detail. So have a look at that. Decide whether it's sort of right for you, whether you think it's got some value in it for you. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to add a lot to the channel. So hopefully we'll see you in there. Anyway, as I say, don't forget, any questions about this video, anything else, memberships, please put them in the comments section below. If you want to watch a couple other videos, up there, as usual, subscribe button right there. Don't forget the notifications. And until the next video, I'll say bye for now.